Hello ladies and gentlemen, as always, I'm your host Airsoft Alexs with my cat right here because, got a little update for you today because, obviously, I did an unboxing video a while back. I've been doing a lot of fanfiction reviews, so I thought I'd go ahead and kind of talk about the airsoft guns I'm currently working on, and sort of the plans I have, for them in the future. If I ever do, if I'm able to ever go out and play airsoft again. If I'm ever to. So I want to go ahead and kind of give a roundabout update of what is going on and what are the immediate projects I'm looking at and what are the long-term projects. So let me go ahead and set my cat down because as much as I love her and as much as I do love my kitty, kind of want her to get down. So, okay, so let's talk about the obvious one. The one that I know you probably see behind me, or if you don't, you're going to see on screen. The M16. I may have shared a few photos of it a while back. I may have done a few things here and there, but this is the base rifle. This is going to be the base gun for the service rifle kit. Now, sad to say, this top here, being polymer, ow, not exactly holding up pretty well. I swapped it back to its original thing, and sadly the thing wobbles as hell. Mostly because of the space right here for this lug, if you can actually see that. It wobbles, like it is wobbly. Like, no tomorrow is it wobbly, and it actually loosens this pin right here. So I'm probably going to replace it with back with its original screw-on that I had originally on there, because that's what was keeping it in place and didn't wobble that bad with it on there. I mostly had this on here because I was taking pictures with my phone of it with the solid stock I have on my M4 right now. And that's more or less how it is. The other thing is that this is going to be built up pretty good to be a service rifle. If the polymer does crack over, I'm hoping to find a replacement upper to basically turn this into kind of like the the service rifle mod from Fallout 4 Redux edition, where you have the different uppers for it, and of course the different lowers as well. Again, just one of those things of what I'm doing. It did give me a lot of cool stuff to actually look at in terms of seeing how well this would do. Obviously, you're seeing this. I want to do an all-green M16 in the future, or at least an all-green, full-length, solid stock, solid carbine stock style M16 in the future. Kind of like a Canadian M16, but again, just one of those things. Like I said, just stuff in the works. I'm working stuff out, trying to figure out what I can do, what I can't do, all that good stuff, essentially. Again, I will get back to you as best as possible with this one, but don't be surprised if you see this with a different barrel in the future, because again, still kind of working stuff out as best as humanly possible to make sure that this doesn't crack, because again, this is wobbly as all hell. Moving on to the next gun I'm working on at the moment. So you've seen this, you know this. This is, of course, my AK. At the moment, I'm currently having a little bit of difficulties with it because, well, I'm trying to do a solid stock AK instead of the collapsible stock AK. I might change my mind in the future and actually put on the collapsible stock because the solid stock does not want to stay on there. And my cat behind me at the moment, messing around with stuff. What are you doing, Isis? My cat, ladies and gentlemen, my cat just attention is an attention hog. Anyway, so as I was saying beforehand, I did put the solid stock on here because I do love the solid stock AK. I've always loved the solid stock AK, but I might be going back to the collapsible stock on this. But again, I do love that look. I'll see if I can't try to make it work, but the biggest issue I'm facing right now is the wiring. The wires, of course, I can see are getting in the way of this, making it kind of hard to put a dust cover on it, so there's the big issue at the moment that I'm facing. That's just with the solid stock, however. When I had the other stock on here, I didn't have that kind of issue with it. Again, we'll see how things turn out in the future, and I might, just do what I can with it. But again, I do love solid stock, so we'll see how that works out in the future. That's currently one of the other guns I'm working on at the moment. One of the more immediate projects, as you've seen recently, that I'm actually working on is my Double Eagle 2-in-1 M4. For those of you who don't know, Double Eagle is starting to move away from its more Springer origins and more sub-economy origins and kind of going towards more of its higher end line. They're trying to make actually legitimately good airsoft guns, and they've even rebranded themselves DE Airsoft, which I say good on them. They actually did make decently good springers. They actually did make decently good little sub guns and sub economy guns, and I'll be honest, I say go for them. Hell, they even make really good gel ball blasters that everyone freaking praises. So I say good on them. And this is one of their more newer releases. This is a 2-in-1 M4 AEG with a tri-shot grenade launcher, essentially, for about under $90. And I'm not gonna lie, the fact that I was able to upgrade this, as I did, the fact that this has a full-size version 2 gearbox, meaning that you can actually replace this with a legitimately good gearbox, basically shows their commitment. They have basically all, outside the body of course, all AEG, version 2 AEG compatible parts in here. All the way down to the magazine release, which I have replaced with a better magazine catch and magazine release, essentially. Again, all the parts inside of it is version 2 compatible. And I basically set this thing up as best as humanly possible to be a night game gun, because I have the mount up here to put a flashlight up here, as well as have it to run back here so I can have a pressure switch on here if possible, or at least down here. Again, I haven't figured that out yet. I might not be running the grenade launcher when I have it at a night game, or if I'm able to get to a night game at Tupelo Airsoft Club. I have the PEC box here because it is top wired, and the batteries I do have for it do not fit up here. So I have made holes inside here and here to run the wire into the PEC box, or at least run the battery wire from the PEC box into here, or I might have the PEC box up here. Still figuring that out. Outside of that, though, everything about it runs really well. I've got a G&G motor in here, ironically enough, that works phenomenally well. I've replaced all the gears inside of it with better gears. Well, Elite Force, all Elite Force spec gears and Elite Force brand stuff inside the gearbox itself, and again, just really, really good. It is good. It is legitimately good. So it's just one of those things. Moving on, of course. Now, as to handguns, obviously, because of the unboxing, you saw the parts. The Black Ops 1911 is my current one. Now, obviously, this is going to be a full Black Ops build because I don't have, and I found this out pretty recently, the lugs for the comp here does not work with the KGW comp, or at least the slide for the wind gun, not the wind gun, the other 1911 that I absolutely love, the KJW 1911. The magazines, of course, I am happy with the results of the base plate here, but sadly I am down to 2 high Kappa style magazines because, well, the other one, sadly, being the Black Ops it is, and being as old as it is, the seals have completely rotted away. It is leaking to all hell and back, and I'm just down to 2 magazines, which not a bad thing because I'm not an all pistol kind of guy. I just have this as a backup, so I'll be able to run that and, you know, do that. The other issue I have, though, besides being able to finally replace this with the rear thing, as you can see, the screw in here has completely stripped. So I'm going to have to just essentially completely remove the rear sight. Sadly, I have to remove the rear sight. Or find a new KJW slide to put on here. One that will accept the comp here, because the other one, I don't know if it was too narrow or what exactly, but it would not accept the comp. I might just go ahead and remove the rear sight, because the rear sight aperture is something I'm not too terribly going to need. Again, I'm just going offhand and literally just going to point and shoot, essentially. I'm not going to be, you know, deliberately taking aim with it, unless I have to. But, again, just one of those things of, sadly, it's stripped here, and I can't really do anything with it, and I can't exactly, oh, hey, I can just replace the aperture here. No, this is completely molded into place, as you can see. Either way, though, that's for the pistol. The other one, 2 more, of course, projects I'm working on, so let's just get those other 2 projects over here, shall we? You saw this coming. The M4. For those of you who know it, this is my Magpul PTS M4 AEG. It's now fully combat machined up because I was starting to get a little tired of the black and green, so I thought green and tan, and I went all out on the green, of course. I've got a green carry handle, I've got a all green right here, yeah. Again, this is just something I like, I love, and I just have it here because I put a lot of love into this. The other thing I'm really hoping to do with it in the future, mind you, is I'm hoping to get a Type bore barrel for this. I'm hoping to... actually, that's better. Just get a Type bore barrel for it. Because, again, I absolutely do love this. It is legitimately really good at what it does. I'm hoping to maybe get... Because I don't have the ambidextrous mag release on here anymore, because I've come to realize, playing with it, working with it, that the ambidextrous mag release does get sometimes caught in your gear, and it does sometimes drop the magazine when you don't want it to. So that's another thing for it that I don't really like. But outside of that, though, the only other thing I'm really looking forward to and getting is probably getting a more modernized PEC box for this one. Because the other PEC box, as much as I do love the retro style of it, people have kind of told me, you know, the retro doesn't really work with that, etc., etc., etc. So I might get a more modern PEC box to put on the side here. Another I'm actually really wanting to do is get a little bit more, just some good stuff, essentially. But that's really about it at the moment for this M4, because the only other thing I can think of that would really bring this together is just some more mag pull, essentially. But again, just personal taste and preferences. The final one I'm working on is one for a Navy veteran, and for my brother Rob, who has recovered, thankfully enough, and no longer has the coof, but we're still waiting to see if it returns or not. But this is his UMP 45 Umarex model from H&K, obviously. This is the economy version, I want to say, but it's not. So you're probably wondering what is wrong with this. Well, the thing that is wrong with this is that it does not, at the moment, of course, well, have a gearbox. It is completely devoid of a gearbox. It is completely, has no gearbox, has nothing in it, has no, let me just go ahead and say what the issues were. So the gearbox itself was absolutely horrid. The hop-up unit that was in here was completely gone, and the barrel itself is still good, thankfully enough. The hop-up unit and the gearbox was basically all that is. So all I'm wanting to do with this, more or less, is just get a brand new gearbox, get a new hop-up in there, get a new hop-up unit to put in here, and that's it. That's all this thing requires, is a new gearbox and a new hop-up unit, essentially. That's it. So really, that's all I'm doing for this, is just rebuilding a gearbox, more or less. Let me see if I can't undo this. Let's see if I can't get this out. Yeah, right there. Essentially, if I can get this, there we go. That's all this really needs, is just a new gearbox. That's it. Is just a new gearbox, new hop-up unit, done. Because I still have the barrel for it, and the barrels that this does come with, and the barrels that it does come with, is actually legitimately really good. So again, just need a new gearbox. That's it. Either way, though. Outside of that, of course, I've already worked on the magazines themselves. I even did a little Tula arms paint job, because if it can't run steel, it doesn't deserve the brass. But outside of that, that's really about it for this one. The only other gun I'm working on for my brother Rob is his M9 gas blowback. So his M9 is his first ever airsoft purchase. Not joking on that. This, of course, is the Samurai Edge, mod Samurai Edge. This is WeTech, of course, not Tokyo Marui. This is the fully licensed one. This is the Select Fire model. He bought this because when he was in the service in the Navy, he was trained on M9s. He qualified in M9s, and he is really good with an M9. I'm not joking on that. He's legitimately really good with a fucking M9. The big issue with this one is the magazine just leaks to all hell. So for anyone who owned a WeTech, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm hoping to get a better WeTech mags, or at least a better magazine in general. I was hoping to find a way to convert this to CO2, because I have seen CO2 M9s. So I'm hoping to completely make this a CO2 M9, so that way he can use CO2, since CO2 is a much more plentiful and a much more better gas type in terms of gas guns, in my opinion. The other one is being able to have it retain its select fire ability, but if not, then just a better magazine, actual legitimately real wood, real medallion stars grips, because these synthetic ones have sadly, as you can see, have gone away, and I'm a little sad in that, because I want him to have this. I want him to have legitimately good a good Samurai Edge, because he's a huge Resident Evil fan, and as am I, and he's looking to try and get the real Samurai Edge kits that you can get online at the moment, that come in the umbrella cases and come with the other attachments for the M9s. Again, just good stuff, essentially, to try and, all that. Either way, though. The other issue I have, of course, is that this thing will fire in full auto when it's not supposed to, so hoping to talk to someone who knows a little bit about the M9, or at least talk to someone who can take this M9 and basically do it up really good for a Navy veteran. But again, that's just what I'm doing at the moment, the gun projects I have at the moment. Either way, though, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and if you want to help out with these projects, then, consider donating to our PayPal down below. And if you happen to know any tricks to turn a gas blowback propane-powered M9 to CO2, but still retain all the functionality of it, from WeTech to, what I'm trying to say, then, sound off in the comments section down below, or at least try and link to other videos down below. Outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, the only other big projects I have right now is the service rifle kit, and hoping to work with a friend of mine, Patrick, who is with the Tupelo Airsoft Club, and try and help get some of these things off the ground, or at least help get some pretty cool big projects off the ground, at least. Or attempt to, anyway. Either way, though. Thank you all for watching. As always, I've been Airsoft Al, and I will see all you lovely, lovely people in the next video. Till next time. Later.